as all the casters are here. Let's go. Game number 3. We are currently tied up 1-1. So yes, DongRaeGu did just win game number 2. DongRaeGu did just win game number 2. Again, the writing was kind of on the wall. Like, Gerald was a little bit behind when it comes to his army composition. He was having a real hard time going up against Hydra Lurker Viper. But we are here in game number 3. We are tied up 1-1 in this best of 5 semifinals, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 atmospheres LE, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Team Exxon. It is Gerald. Or Gerald, if you will. And spawning in the top right, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have been following him all day today. Unfortunately, we did miss out on the first 2 games of this series, but here he is representing Team NV. It is DongRaeGu. Oh boy. The one true Dong himself. He is here and he's been looking dominant today. I say that, but he lost the first game against Gerald, so Gerald is definitely putting up a fight here. We are tied up in this series. We got plenty more to come, at least 2 more games. And we'll see where this series takes us, where this game takes us. I was able to catch a glimpse of the end of game number 2, and again, it was a later game. I believe it lasted around 20 minutes, and DongRaeGu did end up going for Hydra Lurker Viper. It didn't look like Gerald opened up with Stargate, so very interesting decision there. Earlier, I was talking about how MaxPax had a really hard time against DongRaeGu, and he is teammates with Gerald, so maybe MaxPax was able to have a word with Gerald and maybe give him some tips about, you know, how to play against DRG. The problem being is that right now, it's very late in Europe, and I would be surprised if MaxPax stayed up after he got knocked out of the tournament. As in Europe, it is 5 a.m. Yeah, wow, I just double checked. 5 a.m. in Europe. Oh boy. So Gerald, he stayed up very late here. So I would be surprised if MaxPax stayed up as well. You know, once you get knocked out, you want to get as much sleep as possible, right? Oh boy. Maybe if Drickett is in the chat, he can shed some light on that a little bit, whether he did or not. Regardless, it is very late for our European players. Strange as well, he was playing very late. But massive shout out to them. You know, the passion that they have, the dedication that they have to stay up for Americas and compete and play against some of the best in the world. Really great to see. And so far, the game is just slowly going underway. DRG taking the triangular third base. Interesting decision here. We'll see if he is aggressive off of this. It does mean that you can start some creep spread pretty early on and maybe go for a queen push. Meanwhile, Gerald is opening up with a Twilight Council, not a Stargate. Oh boy. Only 1 gateway so far. We'll see if he throws down a Dark Shrine. No, there we go. We got a couple more gateways on the way. So I'm worried for Gerald. MaxPax tried to go Glaive Adepts against DRG and it did not work out for him. DRG, he did lose a handful of workers, but it wasn't enough for it to really pay for itself. And there we go. The lack of gateways was indicative of the Dark Shrine as it is on the way. So Gerald's trying to be a little bit sneaky here, a little bit cheeky. And you can catch your opponent off guard, definitely. So we'll see what DRG goes for. Obviously, he knows that it's not a Stargate opener, otherwise there would be a Void Ray out and it would be killing his overlords. Hopefully he dives in because he does need to scout this. He needs to make sure he has detection. Otherwise, we may see another Korean player fall to DTs. We just saw Zest fall. We could see DRG fall as well. Because if he's getting ready for Glaives, typically you delay the lair. Like, there is still no lair. There's no spores either. Like, this is scary. And the Dark Shrine is about to finish up. Mate, DRG, you gotta get in. You gotta get in there. There's a Stalker here, so it's not going to be seen. The War Prism is going across the map. What do we have at home? Spore at the 3rd. It's only at the 3rd, though. Not in the main, not in the natural. There we go. The spores are finally starting. Is it too late? DTs haven't been warped in yet. even though the Dark Shrine is done. So it looks like this may be just barely in time. Hopefully DRG has enough units to defend, otherwise the DTs could just focus down the spores as the Lings are trying to hunt down these Adepts. And the DTs are coming in. This is what's scary. 3 DTs can focus down that spore. How good is the micro? As he's able to get to intercept those DTs and push them away. At the same time, those Adepts actually shaded into the 3rd base and killed 5? Oh my god, 5 drones. For 2 Adepts, that's well worth it. And since the initial DTs didn't deal too much damage, there we go, they are morphing into Archons to be even more annoying. Meanwhile, I love this from DRG. He isn't able to cancel the 3rd, but he is able to delay it, taking down one of these pylons. Could even take down one of the Zealots, but the DT does push it away. Meanwhile, Gerald is trying to find some damage with these Archons, but there are plenty of Queens to push away and focus down the War Prism, so he's not having the best of times. Does get a creep tumor, so the creep does slowly recede. Ooh, and DongRaeGu going for a Spire. I love it. This is very unexpected. It's very ballsy as well, because obviously your opponent has Archons, but usually the Protoss player doesn't get too many Archons. He is making a 3rd Archon, but as long as the mutas hit one of the bases, and Archons are incredibly slow, like they can do a lot of damage. On top of that, if DRG wants to reveal the mutas, he can go for the War Prism as instead and shut that down, and then go for a mineral line. Regardless, I love this muta decision by DRG. He's working on his 4th base as well, working on all his upgrades. And Gerald, what's his scouting looking like? He hasn't really gone across the map yet. I don't believe, he doesn't have a sentry for any kind of hallucinated scouts. And obviously he didn't start with a Stargate either, so he is working off of very limited information. He is pushing across the map with 4 Archons, which is very bold, to say the least. Like, we still have a Roach Ravager army to defend, and with Queens as well. To be fair, there isn't that much on the ground. I say that, 20 Roaches are just popping out, like, DRG is gonna be perfectly fine against this. Oh, unless he moves out of position, oh my god. So you see the Archons and the Chargelots trying to hit this 3rd base. SimCity is pretty good, especially against Chargelots. There are some nice choke points there. And Gerald just can't really find a way in. I say that, here we go, 2 Immortals finally join the main army. Gerald, he wants to take down this 3rd base. Oh, DRG biles his own Roaches there. Ay, ay, ay. But the buffer is getting smaller here for Gerald. I say that he can warp in a couple more units, just barely keeping his Archons alive. DRG, he's having a really hard time pushing into this, and it looks like the 3rd base may fall. Oh god, he pushes on forward, but there's a wave of Zealots. Ah god, yeah, and DRG, he gives up the 3rd. He cannot hold against it. It does go down. Sure, he shaves off a couple of Zealots here and there. He actually moves on forward. He's trying to get on top of the Immortals, instead focuses down every single Archon. Oh my god. And it looks like he will be able to just barely clean this up, but at the cost of his base. I will say it's not too bad here for DRG, because sure, he did lose his space, but if you remember, oh my god, as he kills the Immortal, I did not expect that. Gerald slipping up a little bit there with the micro. He still has the Spire. He can still switch into mutas. Like, what's important is that Gerald's push was meant to kill. Oh my god, another Immortal! No, Gerald, please, pick it up! Ah! Okay. Oh god, the biles do hit the Immortal as well. Almost goes down. Gerald, mate, be careful. Keep your Immortal safe. But what's important is that Gerald, like, his push was meant to kill. It was meant to straight up kill DRG. Because it didn't, DRG is getting away with the Spire. He's getting away with the mutas. They are going across the map. Oh, they will be spotted by these DTs though. Very lucky there by Gerald. And now, wait, did he actually, he's not responding though. He didn't actually see it. The DT saw, but Gerald himself did not. Oh wait, no, there we go. Okay. We got cannons being thrown down. DTs are across the map. Oh, there's no Spore. He doesn't commit though, he does back off. And DRG took a little bit of time with these mutas. They definitely could have gone in a little bit earlier, and now there are Stalkers here. The mutas do not find any damage. Ay, ay, ay. These mutas, like, this is a pretty big gas investment. They need to find something. So far, they get a worker here, a worker there. Actually, only one probe. And now they're stuck. They're stuck between an Archon and a Stalker. But what's important is that DRG, he's pushing across the map with his Roaches and his Ravagers. Oh, he does not have detection, though. The DTs do spot the main army, so Gerald is able to respond. He only has one shield battery. Very risky, especially against Ravagers. As the Biles are landing, they do land on some of the army. Ooh, even the mutas coming from behind. They focus down the shield battery. The shield battery goes down. Overcharge was wasted. And now the Roach Ravager, they're just pushing on forward. There are only 2 Immortals left, and the mutas are actually focusing down the War Prism. And the War Prism goes down. No more micro here for Gerald, as he's going to lose every single one of his Immortals. Everything on the ground is falling here. And DRG, he was able to distract the army with the mutas, and really, the mutas, he only made 7 of them. They were only there to distract and to harass. His main force was here with the Roach Ravager. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any detection, so the DTs clean up. Oh my god. The DTs saving Gerald's life there. Ay, ay, ay. One Overseer is all you need at DRG. Just one. All the DTs are being morphed into Archons. Overseer is on the way. Can Gerald hold? It's gonna be close. It's gonna be difficult. So we have another shield battery on the way. It's gonna be enough. Here we go. The Roach Ravager pushing on forward. Once again, that shield battery is being focused down by the Biles, forced to be cancelled. And now with no shield battery and no overcharge, like, what really is a Protoss army? It's dead, mate. That's what it is. As the Archons fall, sure, there are a couple of DTs, but this time there is plenty of detection. The third is forfeit at this point, and with that, I believe the game GG gets called. DRG on match point. Wow. Oh my god. Gerald's like, honestly, his push was really scary. He almost broke DongRaeGu. I think what was really cool about that fight at the third base of DongRaeGu is that DongRaeGu never really overextended. Like, he was like slowly poking and prodding, kiting back as often as he could. And sure, he did end up losing the third base, but over time, he was able to whittle away at the Protoss army. And sure, he may have lost it, but in the end, he holds, and that's what matters. He was also working on a fourth base at the end, so he was able to save the majority of his workers, the majority of his drones. And even though he went for mutas, and the mutas didn't find too much damage at all, like, let's be real, he was able to utilize them in the main fight. Like, sure, they only killed a single probe when they were harassing the mineral lines, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because when they came in for that fight and when they focused down both the shield battery and the War Prism, like, that was huge. Like, those mutas were key there. To be fair, I think DRG may have still won the fight even without the mutas, but they played their part. Here we go. We are getting in to game number 4. Ooh, an interesting map choice. This is going to be on Beckett Industries. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Beckett Industries ALE, we have the Polish Protoss representing Team Exxon. It is, of course, Gerald. Playing at 5 AM. What a guy. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Beckett Industries ALE. Oh my, going for a 12 pool. Let's go. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Team NV. It is DongRaeGu. So something important about this map. Everyone, this is the new Submarine. It's even worse than Submarine. I believe 12 pools hits 4 or 5 seconds faster than that of Submarine. So the rush distance is incredibly small on this map. And DRG going for a 12 full, mate. He wants to end the game now. Oh my god, Gerald goes for the low ground wall. Worst case scenario for Gerald, it's gonna, he has to like pre-pull some probes if he wants to hold on here. He does scout with his probe, does see that it is at least not a hatch first, but he needs to go up into the main. He needs to confirm what's coming his way because we have 8 lings in production. Oh no, on top of that, the proxy hatch! Oh god! Here we go, he knows the situation he's in. Gerald, he throws down a wall, he's throwing down the forge as well. He needs to hold here, he needs to wall off. The lings are rushing across the map. The hatchery, oh my god, there's nothing to stop it, mate. He doesn't even pull any boys. The zealot, it's on the way. Is it gonna come out in time? The lings, oh god, it looks like the zealot just barely will come out. And he will be able to plug up this hole. Meanwhile, DRG, he's still flooding lings, still making nothing but lings. He wants to end it. The probes are forced off the line. God, and how good is the probe micro going to be? He can't lose too many here. He loses 1 immediately. Oh my god. Loses 2. Loses, oh, this is not good from Gerald. Mate, he just lost 5 probes and the zealots. Ay, ay, ay. And DRG is actually droning up from here. He is not looking to end the game, which is surprising to me. It looks like really commit to finishing the hatchery. I kind of want him to. There we go. The hatchery does finish. We got a queen on the way, so as soon as the queen finishes, he can spread some creep. He can throw down a creep tumor, make it even harder for Gerald to expand. And this is all that DRG had to accomplish, you know? He saves the hatchery. He can spread the creep. He can keep Gerald on 1 base. And DRG can just drone up from here. What is Gerald gonna do? Gerald, he throws down the Stargate. Void Rays are pretty good. Are they good enough? Oh boy. That is the question. So, we'll see. We'll see how this goes here. Oh boy. The lings, they actually... Oh my god, the lings actually pop out at the same time. They get us around on the zealot. The zealot goes down. The queen almost focused down the adepts. Thankfully, the adepts and the cannon were just barely enough. Oh my god, Gerald just focused down the creep tumor. That was insane. That was beautiful. That was so clutch. So there is no creep tumor here for DRG. He's trying to keep the queen alive as long as possible, just so he gets enough energy, but... Oh my god, the broodlings buy enough time, and the queen actually gets down a tumor. Now he has to buy some time. He takes down 1 of the adepts. It looks like the creep tumor will not finish, but both adepts died. DRG is being so annoying with this. Oh my god. It's taking so long for Gerald to expand. Thankfully, Gerald was able to focus fire and take down every single creep tumor. Otherwise, this would have been... He would have never expanded. He would have been stuck on 1 base. It would have been awful. Meanwhile, here we go. We do have the Oracle going across the map. Maybe we already got spores. We got a spore in the natural. We got a spore on the way in the main base. We got 3 queens. DRG should be perfectly fine here. Should be. Of course, the Oracle can still throw down the stasis, if he so chooses, but the queens, they push away the Oracle. Oracle can't find any damage. We got a 2nd Oracle on the way. With 2 Oracles, you can ignore Spore and you can one-shot workers. No, but you gotta keep the Oracle alive. No, Joe, please, no. Oh my god. 1 HP. It's got 1 HP, mate. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this, Gerald. As he is able to delay the 3rd base, but the 3rd just gets taken to the north. Oh my god, at least Gerald keeps the Oracle alive, so he can still one-shot probes, but it is so fragile right now. Like, DRG has to just sneeze on it a couple of times, like twice, and it's dead. Oh my god. Alright, Gerald, he does back off. He's actually going into a Phoenix from here. Interesting decision. So, the goal here for Gerald, as long as he keeps his Oracles safe and sound, is with a Phoenix, you can dive in, pick up a Queen, and then your Oracles can just go to town. So you can still like kind of snowball a little bit and get a lot of worker kills. So that can work out for Gerald. DRG hasn't scouted this, he hasn't been able to go in. I say that, he's got lings all over the place, and the Phoenix does get revealed. And the Oracles are forced to stay at home. They're forced to waste their energy on these lings. At least he keeps the third base alive, so the third will get up for Gerald. Meanwhile, DRG, he was on 2 bases for a little bit longer than he would have liked, so this third is also a little bit late. So DRG still has the advantage, but it's not like an insane advantage. He isn't miles ahead. Only a couple of meters, maybe. Oh boy. As Gerald is throwing down the rest of his production, we got Blink on the way, we got +1 on the way as well, so I do like this. He wants to go into, I imagine, Blink Stalkers, which can do very well against Roaches, but the problem is that he just hasn't been... Oh god, no! The Oracle! Again, just barely escapes. Almost gets caught out by a Queen run by. Speaking of Queen run by, the Queens are actually marching across the map. Yo, DRG does not want to give Gerald enough time to get into this game. He wants to kill his opponent. DRG being so aggressive this game. My oh my, just wave after wave of Zerg hitting the Protoss. And here we go. We got Roaches, we got Ravagers, we got Lings, and more importantly, we have Queens for anti-air. And the problem is that Gerald is still getting into the swing of things. Like, he's got 3 Stalkers and 1 Adept. That's all he's got. And I guess these units in the sky, he's trying to throw down as many shield batteries as he can. His production is finally finishing up, so he can warp in a couple extra Stalkers. +1 just finished. It looks like Blink will finish up just in time as well. So thankfully, Gerald, like, this is the best case scenario for him. I guess, is it going to be enough? Oh my god, the Biles immediately take down 1 of the shield batteries and the cannon. The Queen's focus fire, the Oracle as well. The Oracle actually doesn't have enough energy to do anything, and the Lings get in, get beautiful surrounds on every single one of these Stalkers. Doesn't matter if you can blink, because mate, the Lings are just going to chase you down, run you down anyway. And DRG breaks into the natural base. GG gets called, and DongRaeGu will advance to the grand finals. Wow. GG, well played. I don't know what happened in game 1. I don't know how Gerald took a game, but, you know, really, DRG just needed us in the lobby. He just needed us, and then he just went full Super Saiyan. Just went insane. And we saw a little bit of everything from DRG. It was really great to see him there in the last game be just incredibly aggressive with a 12 full opening, with a proxy hatch, with a follow-up all in. GG. Oh boy. And now we have our final. Zest versus DongRaeGu. You heard it right. We are in ESL Open Cup Americas, and we have an all-Korean finals.